All right, MMA Maniacs, it's time once again for your weekly MMA podcast called Split Decision, brought to you from the Rulot Family Inc. Studios. Bueller and Dodge on the mics, ready to break you down some of the latest MMA news and, of course, the fight cards that are coming your way as well. You can get us on Spreaker, Stitcher, SoundCloud, iTunes, now on iHeartRadio as well. Download the app, and you can take us anywhere you want with us. We are the best MMA show on there.
Yes.
Yep.
My mom says so. You can't get us at SplitDecisionMMA.com right now because we are suspended.
We're suspended.
What did you do?
I didn't do anything.
What did you do?
Did nothing.
That's the problem.
They're apparently searching our sources.
It's, somebody must have been hosting something.
We never do that. We never check our sources.
Big thanks to StrongboardBalance.com for sponsoring the show. Really cool, unique way to work out. A lot of core strengthening there. You should definitely check this place out. StrongboardBalance.com. Their Instagram is pretty cool. It'll show you a whole bunch of ways to use it, and Dodge loves it.
Yeah.
He's plotting how to steal it.
I am. I'm
right
looking at
now.
it. I'm like, let's see.
I tried to win one, but I failed at even entering the contest
Every
correctly.
month, the same.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, good. So I can screw it up again next month.
Screwed up again this month. We're
This
in.
month
You can
that we're
screw it
in,
up.
I'll screw it up again. And also, MyMMAnews.com. They are going to be out at the MMA Classic Expo in Syracuse, New York. It's coming up the first weekend of October. If you want to buy tickets for that, you can get them from MMAClassicExpo.com. And they are going to have some exclusive fighters out there that you can get pictures with and autographs with as well. Again, MyMMAnews.com. With all that said and done, let's get this party bus rolling. The UFC unofficially cuts 12, including Mr. Dan Miller.
Yep. As usual, we have the list of people that have been removed from the website, so we know who's going to be most likely cut. A lot of divisions getting cuts here. We have Dan Miller, Idamar Alcantara, Tom Watson, Andrew Craig, Igor Arajo.
Sure.
Arajo. We also got Anthony Christodoulou,
Arujo.
Yodenis Sedano, Nicholas Backstorm, Cody Gibson, Royston Wee, and Daryl Montague.
He said he was going to shed 100 by December, so
Yeah, I mean,
he's well on course.
I'd like to say I'm bummed out about the top three there, but at the same time, if they're not winning,
You're not winning.
4 out of 5.
A lot of them has lost at least 2.
And we got
the
big
last
up
2.
and comers coming, filling their gaps. So
Yeah,
So to see some guys who are
takes a big up and comer to fill a gap sometimes.
not having to worry about being cut, but are actually retiring.
We need a rim shot.
Sam Stout has retired from
I could
MMA.
use a rim shot.
Has he really?
Yeah.
It cost you $30.
Dodge has got news.
He's had 20 fights in the UFC. You sad to see Sam Stout go?
Am I sad to see Sam Stout go? No, but
Why? Bold guard?
yeah,
I mean, he was good for those Canada shows.
he just lost to a guy who immediately retired after beating him. Like, that's kind of a sign that you should probably go too.
He was good for the Canada shows.
Like the new guy was holding the door for him to walk out with him.
You want to come with me?
Yeah,
you want to
no.
retire too?
No,
if
come on,
you
Sam.
retire, I'll
Yeah,
retire.
you got to come with me, Sam. Let's go.
I mean, I just retired. You need to retire.
That kid was he was Sam Stout's Grim Reaper for his fight career. That's all that kid was.
I'm never going to give you the shot to take this back. You'll never avenge this. Ever.
Avenge me,
Well,
son.
I guess I got to retire. They were going to avenge my last loss.
Exactly.
Chael Sonnen is going to be on the broadcast team with World Series of Fighting.
He probably lied about that, too.
So he's completely cut ties with the UFC. He no longer has any kind of contract with them at all. He can go do.
Well, he lost his job with Fox
Yeah.
as well. Remember, he
And
was
then
doing things for ESPN?
He was doing something for ESPN.
Yeah, he's their MMA analyst.
Every week they changed the little caption of what he was.
Yeah.
This is this guy we talked to in the alley.
Like Daily Show or something?
Yeah.
Well, if they keep changing his title, then they can't find him to fire him.
Exactly.
So I think, though, it's just like, I don't know if it's a full-time thing or a one-time thing, because I know normally Boss Rutan is the guy who does the broadcasting duties for World Series of Fighting. He is unavailable for the next event, so Chael Sonnen will be stepping in. Again, I don't know if this is going to be a permanent fix.
What does he do? Like when someone like Chael Sonnen, who isn't a smaller fighter, he had a big name for himself, had the title shots and all that stuff. When he gets laid off in between gigs for Fox or for ESPN or for World Series of Fighting or after the UFC, like does he collect unemployment?
He was a politician in Oregon, so I believe he's getting something.
He stops by small dojos and probably gets broke off $1,000 to show up.
I'm pretty sure he sold his pizza place. So he doesn't have that going for him anymore.
I just wonder, like, when these guys, obviously they're under the contract with the UFC and they're making serious money, and they go 6 months without a fight. They're not doing, nothing bad there. But if there's someone who maybe never made like major money, like I don't know if Chael Sonnen really made millions of dollars in his UFC career.
I'm pretty sure he talked his way into millions of dollars for his UFC
I wouldn't
career.
say. I would say hundreds of thousands.
I gotta believe
I'd say millions.
I gotta believe million. I mean,
I
with the
guess-
fights that he had with Anderson Silva
guess
and the
so.
hype that he was able to build that up to, and the fights that he had with some of these other guys,
So he could probably coast for a while without getting unemployment.
I think he's doing fine. I think he's doing just fine. Ronnie Marks, who was recently signed with the World Series of Fighting, has won his first fight and now is being asked to be released. He says he's not happy with the time off. He wants to go somewhere where he believes he can fight more often. He said World Series of Fighting basically left him in
Just
hold.
not really happening anywhere right now.
Then you really should have won in the UFC. Then
He did okay.
that's why you got
I
cut.
like that.
I mean-
he did okay.
He had 5 fights in the UFC. He didn't win all of them, but he didn't lose all of them.
What was the percentage, Dawes?
I think he lost 3 of 5.
So you should have won more in the UFC, and you'd be fighting more often.
Let's see. Let's look at his recent record there. Go to the UFC. He won 1, 2, 3. He lost 2. Yeah, he's lost 2 of 5.
Okay,
It's not as bad.
all right.
But he lost 2 in a row to Yoel Romero and Thiago Santos.
Yeah, that's when he got cut and went to World Series of Fighting. Won his first fight, and now he wants to go somewhere else to fight again. If you look at the difference, I mean,
Yeah, but coming out of the UFC, you shouldn't go to World Series of Fighting and win by decision. You should. I think if you come from the UFC back into the World Series of Fighting, you should win by finish.
Wasn't Carlos Vamola supposed to be like the next big thing?
yes.
And then he got beat by Ronnie Marks.
Yes.
Like, what the hell is that, man?
We'll go with that.
He was on a roll.
Well, he was on a roll coming into the UFC, and then he lost to John Madsen.
They put him up against Carlos Vamola. Oh, Carlos Vamola would be a test for him. Carlos Vamola might kill him. Carlos Vamola is still he's not even in a fighting organization right now, I don't think.
No, who does he fight for right now? He's Warrior Fight Series was his last fight over in England. You can give him that.
Oh, really?
That's Carlos Vamola. Yeah.
All right.
No,
No.
don't care.
No, that's not even a feeder
Are
league.
you,
on.
are you going to do the thing on the? Are we doing the story on how the sanctioning board's not going to take wins from?
Yes, I have
Okay.
that story.
Well, now that you brought it up, I guess we have to.
I have that story.
All right.
Nick Diaz turned himself in for his DUI that he had back in 2014. Cut a deal with prosecutors. He was sentenced to a grand total of 2 days in jail. So he starts his jail sentence.
He actually had to do jail time?
2 days.
Yeah.
God, even 2 days sucks.
He already got credit for 1 day time served when he was initially arrested. So technically he has to go in for a day.
A day.
Was it a 24-hour period?
Yep.
Or like sun up,
San
sundown?
Joaquin, right
San
there
Joaquin.
off
Yep.
the Highway 4.
I'm pretty sure he's out by now because this was on like Thursday
Oh yeah.
or Wednesday.
Yeah.
When this story broke.
They probably didn't even book him. You know what I mean? They probably brought him through,
Just
had
hang
him
out in the lobby.
meet a bunch of people.
Sign some autographs.
Scared Straight. What would a Scared Straight by Nick Diaz be like?
Hi.
Yeah, for which person?
You think you smoke weed, fight, and make money? Who does that?
You got to do triathlons, man. Turn your life around.
Hey, dude, with those pictures he posted of the triathlon, how can anybody do that sport for that long?
He's been doing it for a long time.
But I mean, it's a whole day of doing that sport.
Yeah.
The whole day.
Yeah. Hi.
Really, really high. Arizona and California are becoming the first states to regulate weight cutting. This has a lot to do with the dehydration and not being able to use IVs. UFC's already said that they were going to be stopping the IV for replenishing water.
Well, there's been talks in the past about, making them weigh in the same day to remove the aspect of dangerous weight cutting, too.
Yeah. They're saying basically if you need an IV to rehydrate, you're in the wrong weight class.
Or you're smart.
I mean, they're talking now that they're saying that because of this, even Cyborg Justina will never be able to make 135 because she always has to have an IV to make
It's
weight.
only crazy if it doesn't work.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think people say this is the only way until you're like, that's the rule. Okay,
We'll figure out a new way.
found some other way.
Yeah. There's plenty of other people who don't need it that are making weight.
Especially these different ways that we're starting to saturate now, like oxygen chambers and stuff like
the
pretty soon they're going to put somebody in a giant water balloon and force the water back into their system.
It's just their head sticking out. That's it.
You know what I'm saying?
They just look like the chick from Willy Wonka.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. The
Really
logic is there.
I could do that.
And then hit them with the cryo at the same
Or
time.
that Zorbing where you crawl
Big
into the ball
frozen
full of water
egg.
and they shove you down a hill.
That's terrifying.
I'm going to do that. Always wanted to do it. It's in New Zealand. Or in Texas.
Did you see the one in Russia where the dude
I was going
died?
to say, don't do it in Russia.
No.
They went 2.5 miles down a hill.
I don't think you're supposed to go 2.5 miles.
no.
Hey, the guy that was supposed to catch him missed.
Yeah, they hit like a weird bump and then went that way.
Went over, whoop.
Should be a net at the end of it.
Yeah,
There
right?
was, just
Hey,
not that way.
There was 2 guys, right? One guy survived. He got hit with that dead guy's body the last quarter mile because that's when he broke his neck. So as it
Nice.
was rolling, that dead body was just slapping that guy
Over and over.
over and over again.
Yeah, it was like you watch it, you know something goes wrong because they're like, "Okay, we got you." That way, and they just cruise off to the side and keep going. The camera guy's like, "Oh shit!" I don't even know where they're at now.
Were they anybody? Nobody?
We're laughing and somebody died. We're terrible.
It's Russia.
We're horrible people.
These things happen all the time.
It's probably filled with vodka.
It's unregulated.
Yeah.
It's like the Wild West out there, man. You just do what you
It's
want.
the Wild East.
Block. Big Nog is officially retired from MMA.
All right.
He did say he was ready to hang him up, but he wanted to work for the UFC. The UFC offered him a job, and then he officially retired.
Nice.
So,
You got their new door greeter.
Dude, there's another slap in Coz's face.
well, they offered him the job first before he retired.
Even Nogueira got a job.
That's what he was upset
Kaz.
about when we were talking about it. He was upset
Oh,
that
yeah.
Nogueira got the job, and they never offered it to him. Well, it's like, because you told Dana, he's like, so what are you planning on doing after the UFC? It's none of your fucking business. Okay, well, apparently
right.
you don't need a job.
That's not how you get a job with the UFC.
I wonder if he's going to be refilling the fountain that the culinary unit
nuts in
is.
your mouth and you're juggling.
Also, the California State Athletic Commission is going to take some new steps to basically stop unregulated shows. That's been a big thing that's been going on. We saw that video, was it about 3-4 months ago, where it was tagged that the soccer mom gets knocked out in first round.
Right. Or when they
remember that.
picked.
You never saw that video?
Yeah, it was poor lady. And then
Well, here's the deal,
What about
though.
where they picked the guy up at the end of the round, put him on the chair?
Yeah.
He didn't know where he was, who he was, and they're like, "No, come on, man, you gotta do this, man." And then he stood up to get beat some more into the second round.
The
Really?
Explode
Oh, yeah.
fight series is one of the big ones here. That's the one where the soccer mom was fighting. He's saying that it was mistagged and somebody shouldn't have tagged it soccer mom, that she has, actually 3 other MMA bouts under her belt.
Didn't look like it.
Even though if you look at all of her other MMA bouts, she's lost every single one in the first round by knockout. They asked her what gym she trains out of. She said independent.
Yeah.
She should just not be fighting.
And they said, and then the president of this organization said, we will not allow her to fight anymore. Well, yeah, because she got your
yeah.
organization in trouble,
Yeah, now
man.
you got bad press.
Anyway, the California State Athletic Commission is saying they are taking action against licensed fighters who take part in unregulated fights. They're going to require increased medicals for licensed fighters who take parts in unregulated fights. They're also contacting all the Native American reservations where unregulated fights take place. They will recommend a 120-day suspension for fighters who compete in an unsanctioned show. And they're saying they will no longer recognize wins earned in an unregulated fight. So even if you have an organization that has, because on some of these Indian casinos, they don't have to have the Nevada State Athletic or the California State Athletic Commission present. They're allowed to hold these events.
But then we would have never had Kimbo.
It is what it is, man.
They don't
saying-
recognize. They don't take his wins from the
No, they
parking
don't.
lots and
No.
backyards.
What was the other one? Dead at 5,000?
Dead at 5,000. Yeah, he's got a documentary on Netflix right now. Check that out.
How come I can't get a fucking documentary on it? Dead at 5,000 got a documentary on Netflix?
About underground fighting.
Just for beating people up in the bayou?
Well, and for starting his own organization where they fight inside of traffic cones. They literally put 4 traffic cones with caution tape around it, and it's about the size of this table we're standing at, and you have 2 guys fight.
Yeah.
And they have a crowd around them, and every time they move toward them, they push them back.
And in between rounds, a crossing guard come out.
Wait, traffic car!
Game on.
Game on!
Oh, God.
Uriah Faber recently was in a interview where he got to talk about Dwayne Ludwig, and he basically has broken his silence, saying that, I've tried to keep it real private because I don't want to air dirty laundry necessarily, but it's kind of sad. Dwayne is a guy that was really, really down and out when I gave him a call, and I've just learned that dysfunction follows this guy around. We brought him into a great situation, tried to hoist him up, and now he's bad-mouthing the team. It's really sad. We've done a lot for him. He's been in and out of our gym for maybe a year and a half, and to see a guy like that talk about our guys when he hasn't been around for over a year or a year and a half, and he knows what the heck they're up to, is kind of strange. Especially guys have gone out of their way to promote this guy. He's been pretty emotional when he was down and out in his time. It's very unfortunate. There's some guys, no matter what opportunity they seem to stab themselves in the foot. And from my standpoint, what I've seen of him, I don't like the way he treats people. He's a bully, and he's done things that have really rubbed me the wrong way. So as far as building a positive environment goes, I feel bad for the people that are stuck with him, because he takes and takes and takes and takes. And that's not the way I built my team. I don't appreciate his negativity. I am done with that guy.
Wonder what TJ Dillashaw is going to say about this.
It's very strange.
I don't know. Did you see the joke where it said Dwayne didn't like how Uriah was talking about him, so he kept TJ for an extra weekend? Well, I've been talking, we have a source that's pretty close to Urijah and to Dwayne, and he says there's a third party that's really stoking the fire on this whole thing.
Is it Chad Mendez?
He said
Chad Mendez didn't like it either.
He said he would tell us in person, but he wouldn't text it or.
I'm willing to put $10 on the fact that it has a vagina.
You think so?
Yeah. Always. Bitches always fucking shit up.
All right. I don't know if I can argue with that. I don't know if I can argue with you on that, Joey.
I love women.
A lot of fights being shifted around.
I love them too. It doesn't mean they'll fuck shit up.
A lot of fights have been shifted around in the UFC. We had talked about the New Year's Eve show. Remember? January 2nd. We were talking about that.
The New Year's show, yeah.
The New Year's show.
That's New Year's post.
It's the New Year's Eve show. Was now being shifted around.
You got it. You can call it the New Year's show because technically it's happening in the new year.
Well, if it's in Brazil, it will actually be the New Year, right? When it happens?
No, he's trying to say New Year's Eve.
It's the New Year's Eve show.
It's not the eve of any New Year's. It's actually the post.
Well, it's the New Year's Eve of New Year's Eve day.
It's just
It's 2 days later.
It's just the New Year's show because it's in the New Year. It's the first show
There,
of the New Year.
I'll
It's
give
the
it to
new New Year's Eve show.
It's the slightly delayed and postponed New Year's Eve show.
Which is happening January 2nd. And was supposed to be headlined by Ronda Rousey and Holly Holm. However,
What is the deal with them moving that fight up?
here's what happened. Just calm down.
No, I don't want to calm down. I want answers.
Is now going to be headlined by Robbie Lawler and Carlos Condit. The Robbie Lawler-Carlos Condit fight was supposed to be happening in, December at UFC 194?
Right.
Or something like that? UFC 193? UFC 193 was supposed to be this one. This is going to be in Melbourne, Australia, in a stadium. That was supposed to be happening November 15th. However, Lawler has a thumb injury, so that's why he's getting moved to January.
Oh, so they're flip-flopping the card? Or the main event?
The main event, and Ronda Rousey and Holly Holm will now be the headlining event of that. They're also taking Joanna Jędrzejczyk, will now be facing...
This is dirty.
This is a little weird. Valerie Latourneau, who just won at this last event we had. You want to say it? You got the French accent?
Valerie Latourneau.
Latourneau?
I thought he threw up on his keyboard.
Latourneau.
Bless you.
Now, Joanna was supposed to fight Claudia Gadelha. Gadelha, we come to find out, has an injury. That's why she will not be fighting. She has a hand injury as well. So now this will be the first time ever that a card will be main evented and co-mained by a woman and for title shots.
Good for you, Australia.
Australia, in a stadium.
Well, wasn't it supposed to be the same thing in December?
It was the Holly Holm, Ronda Rousey was 100%. The Joanna, Claudia was rumored.
Oh, really?
It was
on the bubble.
It was going to happen, but it wasn't
thing.
100%. So now this is 100%. They announced this today.
Because we were making jokes about it last week. Like, we should make a name for UFC 185.
When this happens, yeah.
Estrogen fuel.
Now it's going to be...
You had some time.
No, it's still the same one I came up with last
Yeah,
time.
it's the same one you had.
I didn't come up with anything better at
He
all.
had until January. Now he has until November to rename this event. It's also thrown there that it is in Australia, so might help you out with some nicknames.
Red Sky cometh.
No. Clam Slam.
The clam slam.
Put another clam on the Barbie. Oh! No?
Wait, it's happening on November 15th?
Kangaroo
Scissor
Clam?
Sister September.
Oh,
It's November.
It's November.
Oh shit.
I just can't wait until the middle of November so I can say it's that time of the month for UFC 1, whatever it is.
Down under.
Yes, we understand we're chauvinist.
I'm totally misogynistic. I've never said I'm not.
Right.
My mama raised me weird.
Your mama raised you weird.
Blame.
Yeah, it's all my mom's fault.
Officially, we have now Jose Aldo versus Conor McGregor for December 12th. They got into it today at today's press conference, which was subtitled, Go Big. It was UFC, Go Big.
With featherweights?
With everybody was on stage. They had tons of people on stage. These two got into it. Conor McGregor was constantly telling Jose Aldo he's never going to show up. He didn't show up the first time. He's not going to show up this time.
He probably won't.
And he said, I don't want to have any. He said, and Conor McGregor told anybody 135 to 170 pounds, I hope y'all are making weight. Don't give me the same excuse Chad did that you only have 2 weeks' notice because Jose's not showing up. You all have notice to come fight me that day. I will be there. I just need an opponent. So he's willing to take on anybody from 135 to 170.
I'm hoping Frankie Edgar's ready.
Everybody says they're ready, basically. And he not only did he say he'll take anyone, he said as soon as he beats Jose Aldo, he's going to leave the weight class and he's going to move up in weight and take the next guy.
Yeah, he has to move up in weight because he's not going to be able to use IVs for cutting weight anymore.
McGregor says he doesn't have to use those.
I know, because I still want to see him fight Frankie Edgar. That's bullshit.
And that Frankie Edgar wants to see that too.
Oh, well.
Also added to UFC 194, we have Michelle the Karate Hottie Watterson going up against Tisha Torres.
This is just a good-looking fight.
I like this fight.
I'm going to watch this fight on mute. Maybe some orchestra music going.
This is going to be on the money card with Jose Aldo, Conor McGregor, and Chris Weidman, Luke Rockhold. That's a huge card.
Yeah.
That's December 12th.
I'm telling you, Beethoven's
that's the
950
Christmas
every time.
card.
That quite possibly could be the Christmas card. At least for fans.
What's the date of it?
December 12th.
Totally Christmas card, 100%.
Or is that the start of Hanukkah card?
It's Kwanzaa.
It's
Kwanzaa
Kwanzaa.
card?
It's a Kwanzaa card.
Or is it the Festivus card?
All of it.
Festivus for the rest
Feast
of
of
us.
great steak.
Did you guys get a chance to watch the Bellator fight?
No.
Yeah.
Brandon Gertz takes out Melvin Gillard.
He didn't submit him?
Nope, Melvin Gillard broke his hand, though.
Yeah. Look at that.
Wow.
He took that pill from, what is that, the doctor?
The plumps.
The plumps.
What is it? Nutty Professor?
Nutty professor.
The clumps, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Look at that hand.
That's gross.
Marlies Conan takes out Arlene Blancow and then calls for a women's title. She says that it's about time that Bellator starts has a women's belt. They have a division. They need a belt. And Justin Wren, fighting for the Pygmies, takes on Josh Burns.
Cyborg and Carano aren't here, so I'd like to have a belt now.
Right. Exactly.
Now they don't have to fight them anymore.
Yeah. And then Justin Wren, like I said, fighting for the Pygmies, takes out Josh Burns, unanimous decision after a 5-year layoff.
Nice.
That's
Yeah,
it. That's
he
the
schooled
news.
that kid, too. It was sad.
That's the news.
That's the news?
That's it. No fights coming up till next week.
I thought there's one on Saturday.
What's on Saturday?
Are you serious?
Isn't the Dodson fight tomorrow?
Oh,
You're
Dodson?
such a dick.
Dodson? Nobody gives a shit about Dodson.
Dodson. We got Dodson here. See, no one cares.
No one cares.
You're such a dick. Fucking Dodge going over the long con here.
It's happening. It's happening.
Dude, I'm telling you right now. Got him! Dodge got him. Because I'm like, no, I'm staring at tomorrow's
I'm
card.
pretty sure there's a card.
I'm staring at a card.
I thought I announced one today on my show.
And I like that you mentioned Dodson, but don't give a shit about Demetrius Johnson, who's actually a champion.
I was hoping.
I was hoping.
I just threw the name that came to mind first, and yes, it was Dodson.
All right, so going with UFC on Fight Pass. You want to start that off there? Can you see that there?
I can see that. All right, let's go. You ready? You
I'm
ready?
ready.
You ready? Joaquin Silva going up against Nazareno Malagari. There
Yep.
you go. Nazareno Malagari. That's on your Fight Pass. Also, Diesel Riggs has one last chance to show that he can be in the UFC by fighting on the Fight Pass card up against Ron Stallings.
Hopefully he doesn't shoot himself in the foot in this
Right.
In this one, you know.
We could see another
Or
retirement.
hand,
If he wins, we could see
leg,
another
whatever he
retirement in
did.
the ring.
No, I think he'll keep fighting if he wins. But I think
Yeah.
if he loses, he doesn't retire. He just gets cut.
All right.
And he never gets an invitation.
You taking Ron Stallings or Joe Riggs?
I'm taking Ron Stallings, but let's see what Joe Riggs can do here. Moving on to the preliminary card that's on Fox Sports. One, you got Clay Collard going up against Thiago Trader. Just stop me when you want. Jessica Andrade going up against Raquel Pennington. Looks like a good fight.
I'm going to take Arandre.
I like Raquel Pennington in this one, actually.
She's tough, man. She's scrappy
Yeah.
for sure. She definitely got the hands.
Francisco Rivera going up against John Lineker.
I'm gonna take Rivera.
I got Lineker, so don't pick anything that I pick if you're listening right now. Ross Pearson is going to go up against Paul Fielder for your last.
I love
fight.
Ross Pearson, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Ross Pearson's great.
I gotta take.
But you're going with
No, I
Felder.
gotta take Ross. Gotta take Ross.
Got to take Ross.
Yep.
Felder's on a streak, yeah.
He is, I believe. Let's see.
And Pearson is not. Pearson just lost recently.
Let's see what we got here. Paul Felder is on a loss streak.
He was
He
10-0.
was 10-0. Lost Edson Barbosa.
Okay.
Okay. Decision. Whereas Ross Pearson,
Also
was
lost
coming off of a
recently.
loss against
Dude.
Evan Dunham. Did
He's
beat Stout.
checkerboard.
He should have beat Evan Dunham, but whatever.
He should have beat Evan Dunham. Yeah, I agree with that.
But he did not. So moving on to your main card now at UFC 191. This is pay-per-view. Find a friend who's ordering it. Paige Van Zandt kicks off the card up against Alex Chambers. We got to talk to Paige Van Zandt. If you haven't heard the interview yet, she's a lot of fun to talk to.
I got to take Paige in this fight. I mean, Alex Chambers, I know, we got to talk to her at length about the rankings, and she feels that the rankings aren't actually the way they should be because it's a new division. It's only been around for...
And stuff.
And stuff, right?
She's 21, man. What do you want?
I know. No.
She doesn't want to talk about her boyfriend, okay?
I like how we
But
did
she did the next day.
I
The
know.
next day she talks to MMA Weekly and talks all about it.
Oh, and then like Barstool blew her up this week too.
Because they realize she's hot.
Yeah, who's this hot fighter chick? UFC. We should all be watching this.
Duh.
We've been saying that for a year.
Assholes.
I'm still taking Paige. I think she's doing pretty well for herself. She has the tenacity. She's very, very tough for a pretty girl. Let's give her that. She does not mind getting hit.
Rides dirt bikes, plays in the mud.
Yep, she's ready.
she's 100% legit, man. You know, she does
She's
have
got
the
a long way
looks,
to
but
go.
she's a country girl.
Yep.
So she grew up rustling pigs and steer and shit. So she's probably gonna do really good.
In shit or and shit?
Both.
But the only thing she already has back problems. I found that out in a couple of interviews. So
She was a dancer.
and she said, but I mean, at 21 already, that don't bode well for a career in
Well,
a
we'll see.
sport where
We'll see how she
you
does.
get slammed around.
Up against Alex Chambers. I mean, she did come in and pretty much just make Felice Herrig look like she didn't know what she was doing. So
For sure.
yeah, I think that says a lot for her, especially with all the hype that Felice Herrig had coming into the UFC.
And, I mean, we thought that Alex Chambers was going to lose to Kaylin Curran, and she ended up taking that fight.
Yeah. And look at all those subs. I don't know. I don't. She could be in trouble.
Question it now?
Well,
Question could be in trouble.
it's obviously going to be a difficult fight for Paige Van Zandt on the ground just because she's a kickboxer.
Yep.
I would say. So
And she's going to have reach on her, too. Alex Chambers is bigger than her, right?
I believe so.
the good thing about this for Paige is that she's so young that even taking a loss or two right now is not going to devastate her career.
No,
She's
not
got
at
a
all.
lot of room to grow.
I've only really fought 4 times.
No, I mean, if I met her again when I was a real fighter, like now,
Yeah. What? I'm like, what, you weren't a real fighter?
The whole time I'm listening to the interview, I'm like, is somebody going to call her on this? And finally you're like, so what do you mean? Like, what were you before? You just showed up?
Just hung out.
No, I'm a real fighter now. And then I train at a real gym.
Yeah.
And I have, what was it she kept saying? I have style now? No.
It's real technique.
real technique.
I have real technique.
Corey Anderson going up against Jan Blachowicz in your light heavyweight division. Who you got?
I don't have anybody in that one.
I'll go Jan.
I'm not well versed on that one.
I'll take Jan.
Anthony Johnson going up against Jimmy Manua.
This is going to be a tough fight.
Manawa.
I like Johnson a lot. I like when he murdered Nogueira. I like that he should have murdered DC, but instead got wrestled. Jimmy definitely isn't going to wrestle with him.
Right. So I think that,
So
that Jimmy's
that's where I'm
going
going to
to
take Johnson.
Jimmy's going to get hurt.
I think Jimmy's got heavy hands though too.
Yeah, but I think Rumble's going
I
to.
don't know. DC made Johnson look like a bitch.
He made it. Well, he also wrestled him down.
No, I know, but
Threw
I'm
him
just-
around pretty good.
I'm just saying.
I don't know, man.
And Manawa's actually shed a lot of loose weight.
He has, and he's known for his heavy hands. I gotta take Johnson.
I'm with you.
Going Rumble.
This
Co-main
next-
event you got to be excited about.
Dude, yeah, it's just like Dream Fight 10 years ago. What's up?
Maybe 8.
Yeah, Andrei Arlovski going up against Frank Mir. Both these guys are making a comeback in the UFC, and both coming off wins.
I'm just saying. I recently read an article about Andrei Arlovski. He was training how to protect his chin.
But he said he doesn't have a problem with his chin.
No, he was doing strength neck exercises
Bullshit, bro.
He's bullshit.
to strengthen his chin so he doesn't get knocked out.
That's not how it works, Andre. But all right,
That's what a strength and conditioning coach told him.
Your coach should know that's not how it works either. But hey, whatever. More power to you if you're doing some jaw exercises. Just picture him with like a big rubber band and just like going to the side with it.
Next,
One of those big ass off of broccoli. One of those big ass
Yeah.
broccoli rubber bands.
The big blue rubber bands. Nice. So I don't even know who to pick.
I don't know
in
who
this
to
one.
take in this either.
This is a tough one for me. I mean, I feel like I kind of have to take Mir.
Are you?
Have you?
I love
Arlovsky's
Arlovsky.
your man.
Arlovsky is one of my favorite fighters of all time, but Mir's last two fights, dude,
He looks pretty good.
He looks mean
I mean,
and beastly.
Well, he looks mean and still hefty.
Yeah.
well, but
He's not as cut as when he was fighting Brock Lesnar. We'll tell you that.
Yeah, well, he's also not. Never mind.
I don't know.
I'm assuming he was possibly juicing back then. That's an assumption.
Have you seen the video where like somebody foot sweeps Mir and he knocks the guy out?
Yeah.
Because that's how it looks. It looks like Mir's falling and knocks the poor kid out.
Well, and he got Arlovsky when he came back to the UFC. His first fight was kind of lackluster, and he did all right after that.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. Frank Mir's got those fucking hands, like you just said. Though he's just
Right.
beast.
You
mode
going
on
Frank?
people.
You going Frank?
I'm going Frank.
You going Frank?
I'm sorry.
I'm going Arlovsky.
I'm sorry, Andre.
I'm going Arlovsky.
Radio?
Arlovsky.
I'll go Frank just to split it. Just to split it.
I betrayed the motherland. I should give up my Arlovsky action figure now.
So that
think-
wraps that card up, huh?
I think you're doing Mir because he's got the dad bod. I think you're proud dad bod with Frank Mir.
That's what it is. we're dad bod brothers.
I'm putting that on
Team Dad Bod.
I'm putting that as the notes. Team Dad Bod.
Team dad bod. Hashtag.
Hashtag Team Dad Bod.
And I mean that pretty much wraps it up, right?
Yeah, there's no main event. No. Yeah. Demetrius Johnson, the champ, defending up against John Dodson.
In a rematch.
I don't know, man. This fight is also hard. I want Demetrius Johnson to lose just because he's boring.
But he's not boring as a fighter.
But
as
is
a
it-
fighter, he's amazing. Like he gets in there, and I mean, he's finished. You look at his record; he's finishing everybody that he's going up against, and he makes these guys look like they have no idea what he's doing
Yeah, but he's also forgettable.
when he talks.
I don't know.
Submission, armbar, submission, Kimura, knockout, armbar.
No, I understand that, but he's not just forgettable when he talks. I forget he's a fighter until he's on a card.
Right, right. But these last 2 weeks, Dodson's gone out, and he's tried to drum up this talk shit thing, and it's not working. Nobody...
It's because you can't understand when he talks like this and he's going,
I don't want to say that nobody...
Slow down, get off the coffee.
I don't want to say that nobody cares, but they're just not interested.
Dodson says he wants to murder, death, kill Johnson.
Murder, death, kill?
Yeah, he brought back...
What's a murder, death, kill? Did he bring back the 3 seashells, too?
I don't know if he did. He's bringing back the Demolition Man. He wants to murder, death, kill him.
Murder, death, kill. That's awesome. Fantastic reference.
I still got to
Someone
go...
says bleed.
I still got to go Demetrius Johnson in this fight. Dodson is very exciting. He did have him knocked down twice in the first bout. They are completely different fighters since they fought that first time. DJ just continues to do well and surprise everybody and show that he's very exciting inside the cage just because he's not out.
Right.
And he's definitely in the pound for pound list. I mean, he's taking out everybody in his division.
I agree.
I don't think
Demetrius
he's not going to get that $2 million money to go fight TJ that he wants so bad.
He's probably going to win. I just want Dodson to win.
Just so we don't have to see him again, or at least for a little while.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't see him anyway. So
Boy, you got a valid point, Dodge. You got a valid point. Your mom's calling.
boss.
Same thing. So that's it. That wraps up your UFC 191 going down this weekend. Find some place to watch it, order on pay-per-view, or find a friend who's ordered it.
I believe tickets are still available if you're in Las Vegas.
Oh, that's right. It's at the MGM Grand, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, they were saying that there were tickets available to still go get some seats there. So do that one way or the other. Big thanks for listening. Tell your friends about us. You can get us on Spreaker, Stitcher, and SoundCloud, on iHeartRadio.com. Get the app, and you can get us anywhere in the world. It's magical like that. The internet's kind of cool. Is that Ronald Reagan?
Yes, driving a badass Cobra Mustang that's painted with the American flag, customized with his own Ronald Reagan
Ronald Reagan Hemi?
little thing going on there, little emblem.
Not a Hemi.
No, that's definitely not a Hemi.
Hemis are Mopar.
That's a 420, sir.
Oh, okay. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
He's got a Star Wars sticker.
It's not a 427.
He's shooting
No,
things.
that's Chevy.
Yeah.
Is it a big block?
That's
Yes.
Probably.
Yeah.
Most likely.
Probably like a 351 or something like that.
Yeah.
Does it have a 4-barrel
Says-
Holly?
No, it's blown. It's full blown.
That's blown.
It's 2-4 setup.
429. 429 right there.
It's a 429 with a 2-4 setup, double blown.
Badass picture.
Oh, I
Badass.
didn't notice that. That is 2 superchargers.
Yeah,
isn't it?
that is.
Yeah, that is a badass picture, though. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
It is like the Star Wars.
Ronald
bumper
Reagan
sticker.
didn't take no shit.
And the Dare sticker from his Dare program. Remember that?
Fuck shooting out the side of the car.
I'm going
Yeah,
right through the
shooting
front.
front.
You know who's in the trunk of this car in this picture? Donald Trump.
America.
Merca.
I don't remember what the hell we were talking about now. All right, so yeah, thanks
UFC
to
191, America.
strongboardbalance.com. Get on board, change the way you work out. Strongboardbalance.com. One more time, strongboardbalance.com. And of course, mymmanews.com, who's going to be at the MMA Classic Expo in Syracuse, New York. Get more info at MMAClassicExpo.com as well. That wraps it up from the Ruloff Family Inc. Studios. It is Bueller and Dodge saying have a good night. We'll see you at the fights. Oh.